This is like the afternoon for him. Joining us right now from The Athletic. Go to theathletic.com or go to the Athletic, get the app. I actually called Sam off air earlier this week, true story, to say, there have been some articles, not by you, but there have been some great articles that have paid for my Athletic subscription alone, on top of the great work Sam does each and every week. Good morning, Sam.
Man, what do you got against my sleep, Dave? What do you got against? What did my sleep do to you?
I am here for Sleepy Sam Amick on Thursday. I think it's because you know what, Sam? When we're sleepy, when we're just waking up, that's when we tell. Well, for guys, it's the second most truthful time of their lives, and I'm here for it.
Well, then let me give you a little truth. I enjoy my job.
Yes.
I enjoy my career, but just for all those young, aspiring basketball writers out there, I just want to let you know that sometimes, you might file your story at 4:15 a.m. and then a guy named Carmichael Dave might hit you the next day, and you might forget that it's a Thursday, and you might be on live radio talking about Sleepy Sam, but that's okay because we're here.
What Sam's saying before we have Jason take the mic is that the finals are far more important than a mid-market radio show hit he does every Thursday at 8 a.m. And that's fine.
Hey, isn't it 11 in Boston?
It's True Thursday. And it is 11 in
Boston. Now Jay's coming at me?
Jay's got receipts, dude. You're in trouble. Jason, take the floor, please.
Sam, so, last night in Game 3, now we've seen kind of three different type of games. So I thought yesterday what we did see was Boston's ability to get in the paint, to score, to control the middle. What do the Warriors have to do to kind of counter, which they've done so well in every postseason so far this year, or postseason in the past?
I'll tell you in a quick moment, Jay. I also love that you are showing me no mercy and you go into a hardcore X's and O's question. Yeah.
I know, right?
You can't butter me up a little bit.
What'd you eat this morning, Sam?
We do try to transition Sam in at the beginning. You just went right there. Just break it down, Sam.
We're on a time crunch here. Your deadline is go.
3 minutes into the third quarter, do you remember exactly what happened? Since the question didn't process, I'm just going to give a quick observation. I think the Celtics look like the better team. I don't know if my story's even been published yet, but I walked out of the gym last night, and this is kind of what I wrote. It was funny because media seating is challenging. There's a lot of people, so I had to put my ego on the side, and I got booted up to what's called the hockey press box last night, right? Which is where most media are, but it's very high. It's the 9th story of the TD Garden. And you spend the entire evening, the game view is fine, but you are eye level with the championship banners. And so my head was in this place where it was like all these banners, all this history with the Celtics. And last night for me was the first time that I was like, I don't know. It actually looks like Boston is worthy, able, willing, ready to win, what would be an 18th one. They would pass the Lakers, break the tie for all-time championships. I might be a prisoner in the moment, but I mean, their combination of, defensive dominance and just depth, and the Warriors, they've got this margin for error that seems really small right now. The other day, Jeff Van Gundy said something along the lines of he thought this was the least talented Warriors team of this entire run. And, it's a credit to them that they're here. I think I agree with them. And so, that's kind of where my head's at. And I apologize, Jay. I didn't answer your question at all, but I obviously didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that and then I guess as a quick follow, even though, I got this, what is it, Mr. Sandman, the old song about the sleep, even though I'm a little tired. Mm-hmm. Boston's great, man. As far as from a basketball standpoint, like that gym, I mean, I understand. As a father, just as a person, I didn't love FU Draymond all night. That's not great. But, like, God dang, the energy is off the charts. And sorry, Warriors fans, but, like, I said, made Chase Center look like a Division II college scene. Mm. In terms of the energy and the decibel level. And that part of it is wild too. That place is rocking.
Sam Amick with us. Sam, I know they can. In your opinion, will the Warriors be able to beat the Celtics 3 of 4 with 2 in Boston?
It's just, I mean, to me, Game 4 is, can they? Yeah. Will they? Prediction-wise, I had the Warriors in 6, and I'm not feeling great about that, certainly, let alone 7.
Right.
But no, I mean, I just see inconsistency on both sides. I see less inconsistency on the Celtics side, and I see, a Warriors team where Jordan Poole has had very little impact on the series. Clay, I know he had a few highlights in the last game, but Klay Thompson finally woke up a little bit. But, 2 bad games from Klay prior is bad. Draymond not playing well last night. And it's just a lot to go up against. Boston is really good. Sometimes this is not a foolproof approach. The Phoenix Suns had the most dominant regular season of any team. And we saw what happened to them, and obviously I wrote about that the other day. There might have been more to the story. But Boston, since, December, whenever they were 23 and 24,
right?
They've been the best team in basketball. And we're seeing that right now. They're just really good, and, they're deep. And so, like Draymond is the guy that I felt like might be able to get the Warriors to another championship, along with Steph, of course. But the Celtics have like a handful of guys who are not on Draymond's level defensively, but they're in the same stratosphere. And, I think right now it feels like, that collection of talents combined with their stars, obviously, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, might be enough to get this thing done.
Sam, you think Steph's going to be okay?
Didn't look good. I mean, he said that he wasn't going to miss time, and I hate to admit this part. I'm up there in the press box, and logistics are challenging. So it looked like the game was in hand. Well, you can't wait too long to get on the freight elevator to get down. So I went to relocate down to the event floor right when Steph got hurt. So I was really slow to go back and see what happened there. But when you watch that video, I know it gets up, but man, he yelled. Like, Steph's not really dramatic, and he yells in the kind of way that there was a lot of pain there. And he was already having to be Superman. So if there's any Clark Kent going into Game 4, then that's a terrible sign for Golden State.
Did Quinn Snyder know he wasn't going back to Utah earlier? And do you think, when you hear those rumors that he might be headed to San Antonio, not this year but next year, do you put any stock into that? Was this a lot more planned than we thought, or do you think this was a last-minute falling out that neither Utah nor Quinn could have foreseen?
This one I got a really good feel for, and I mean, I think it was like, you can't make that final decision until that time comes. But the concerns that he had were known early in the season. And I think, we've written some stuff on it. We haven't really dived into everything. I think some of it was, if the environment around him, family was a big part. He was burned out. In fact, I don't know if this is safe enough to share. Like, I had an off-the-record conversation with him in person late in the season. And it was interesting because one of my sons FaceTimed me. And I said, hey, do you mind if I take this real quick? And, like, he had this kind of deep reaction when I got off the call after, saying goodnight to my kid, where, like, you could tell he was missing his family a lot.
Sure.
And so that was part of it. And then jazz-wise, things have changed a lot. Ryan Smith, I know we're short on time, but Ryan Smith comes in, new owner, very active, brings in Danny Ainge. They got a guy, Justin Zanuck, who's their GM. It's a very, different landscape than what Quinn was used to. Dwayne Wade comes in. I think that actually was, that was a thing. You know what I mean? Like, the optics of Dwayne Wade coaching Donovan Mitchell on the sideline on national TV, D Wade being on the TNT set. They lost a game to the Clippers, blew a 25-point lead. And, Dwayne was somewhat critical on TV. And I just think that it's just, again, it was different from before when it was just, a smaller outfit where Quinn had less kind of layers of organizational, kind of stuff to get through, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what's going to come next. So the Spurs thing, I mean, I've not had anybody tell me that it's definitely him by any means.
Sure.
So I don't feel like that's lined up.
Okay. You can check out Sam Amick, his article, not out yet, but I didn't even know I could do this. I just followed him on the app. How cool is that? You can follow your favorite authors, and Sam's the first one I followed. That article coming out, we would think any moment now that he filed late in the evening, and yet he is still able to Herculeanly, that's a real word, get up this morning and go back and forth with us. Sam, we appreciate you.
You got it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye. Sam Amick. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's go back on some of that. We've got more from Game